Welcome back to another episode of Generation Old School. If it is your first time passing by the channel, my name is William, and on this video I'd like to show you a 1952 Chevy Deluxe. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and also please double check that you're subscribed to the channel. As seen on the title of the video, this is a 1952 Chevy Deluxe that we have for sale in Miami. It's a beautiful unrestored car. The car is a one family owned vehicle since 1952. It belonged to a husband and wife. They purchased a new in 1952 in Maine. It stayed in Maine all of its life, garage kept. When they decided to buy this car in 1952, they purchased all of the available options for the car. Not only they got the big engine, the 235, which was the biggest engine for this type of cars back in 1950s, but they also purchased a power glide transmission. Now, originally this car came with a 3-speed on the column, but they ordered a power glide automatic transmission in a Chevy dealer back in 1952. So they actually had to wait a couple of weeks before the transmission got installed on the vehicle before they were able to drive the car off the lot. As mentioned before, they got all of the available options back in 1952. As you guys can see, it has the wide wall tires, it has the wraparound corners. These accessories have become very desirable and expensive nowadays. They go even up to $2,300 for a set for the front bumper as well as the one for the rear bumper. And people back in 1950s used to buy these accessories to protect the bumper. It was easier to purchase a new set of corner guards than the entire bumper. Same thing with the high bar. It used to be used to protect the back bumper from any accidents coming from the rear of the vehicle so that the trunk wouldn't get dented in. It was easier to replace those parts than to buy a new trunk or even a new bumper. The car also has the vent shades, something that I really like on these cars. Nowadays they sell this, but they are made out of plastic and you glue them to the outside of the window of the vehicle. The funny thing is that sometimes when you're driving on the turnpike or when you're driving on the highway at more than 75 miles an hour, they tend to come out flying and hit another vehicle. But this one are screwed onto the body of the vehicle, something that came like that from factory in 1952. In the rear, as you guys can see, you have your emblem that not only has your bow tie Chevy logo in the middle, but also it says Power Glide, letting everybody know that this car was equipped with an automatic transmission, something that was not very common to have in 1952. The interior of the car is in very good condition. As you guys can see, the seats are like literally brand new. This car has 54,000 original miles. The car has never been restored. It was in the same family since 1952, and they stopped driving this vehicle in 1957. The story goes back to 1957 when they purchased a brand new 2-door hardtop 1957 Bel Air. They put this one away and used to drive it only on casual occasions when one of the other people in the house was using the 1957 Chevy and someone needed to do some errands. They would use this vehicle as a backup vehicle and wouldn't drive it much. That's why the car is so well preserved, conserved, unrestored, because these people took pride on owning this vehicle. The car also has a Fulton windshield visor, something that I really like on this type of cars. I think every 1949 to 1952 Chevy should have a vent visor. This car did not come with side mirrors on the outside on either door, passenger or driver, so they decided to purchase one of these aftermarket side mirrors that screwed onto the vent, to the cowl vent of the car. You also have your door handle guards. This was something used in the 1950s in this type of cars, so that people opening the doors or closing the door would not scratch the paint with the rings that they had in their hands. What a beautiful car. As you guys can see, the paint has a lot of shine to it, but when I got the car, it wasn't like so. I had to spend 2 days polishing the car in order for me to bring out the shine and the original color on the car. The car was put away in 2003, and they never drove it or cranked it up again. In 2003, the original owner, the husband or the wife, passed away, and she never drove this car again. She was 80 years old, and the kids and the family were not interested in restoring the car or keeping it running. So in 2003, before the gentleman died, they took it to the last car show that this car was in, and it won first place for being the most unrestored and original vehicle in the state of Minnesota at that car show. I picked up the car recently, and I didn't have to do much to it. The only thing that I did was flush out the fuel lines, clean up the radiator, and give the car a very nice polish with compound, and also wax it. As you guys can see, the car is all original, beautiful color. When I got it, it looked green. It had been stored in a barn at the house, and nobody will pay attention to the car. Back in 1952, these type of cars had two different type of engines. They had the 216 engine and the 235. It was a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful than the 216 engine. And the 235 was equipped with any 1950 to 1952 Chevy that was equipped with a power glide transmission. So only the cars that had an automatic transmission was equipped with a 235 engine in order to compensate with the gear ratio. As you guys can see, this car is also equipped with an oil filter, but only 10% of the oil in the engine goes through the oil filter. That was an accessory back then that cost $27 to have in your car. The carburetor was also rebuilt. It was taken all apart and rebuilt. We put a brand new fuel filter, and like I mentioned, we also flushed and reconditioned the radiator. It has no leaks, so after we cleaned up the radiator, we took it to a radiator shop who did a pressurized test with air in water to make sure that it was not leaking anywhere. The battery that it has is an 8-volt battery. It is from 2018, but it cranks up like if it was from today. The trunk of the vehicle is all complete with the cardboard around the corners, as well as the spare tire and the original jack. Trunk floors are good, with no rust anywhere, not only in the trunk, but also nowhere found, including the bottom of the car. Back in 1952, these cars came with a push start button, and it was really easy and simple to start. All you had to do was put the key in the ignition, put it up in the upward position, and press this button. The engine is a little hot because I was driving it. This car has not been converted to 12 volts. It is still 6 volts. As you can see, the engine sounds very good. There is no smoke coming from the tailpipe, and there is also no smoke coming from the top of the engine. Like I mentioned, this engine has 54,000 original miles, and the car has never been restored. As you can see, all of the fronts in the car are in excellent conditions, including the front bumpers, the grille, and the bumper guards. If there is anybody interested in this car, we're asking $22,000, and you can give us a call at 305-783-0755. We're located in Miami, Florida, and we can definitely assist with transportation and shipping. Let's give the car a last walk around. Back bumper is also in great conditions. There is no paint cracks or paint dents or paint chips, anywhere on this vehicle. The back seats are brand new, like if no one has ever sat in the back of this car. Same thing with the front chairs or the front seats. All of the glasses in excellent condition with no cracks, and all of the windows go up and down as they should. Let's go ahead and take the car for a ride. And again, if you're liking this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to subscribe to the channel. All you gotta have is a YouTube account, which is also free, and you'll be able to subscribe to the channel. The car doesn't have any overheating problems, and also doesn't have any knocking sounds. So if there is anybody interested in buying this car, I'm pretty sure that once you get it, you're gonna be extremely happy. And if you're old, from the 1950s, this car is gonna bring you a lot of joy and happiness. As you can see, the car goes back and forward. Reverse works. Same thing as the other gears: low, drive, neutral, and obviously park. The car has no power steering, so the steering wheel tends to get a little harder when you're not moving. But once you get going, it's very easy to maneuver. '52 Chevy, a beautiful work of art. They don't make cars like this anymore. I am so happy to be able to do this type of videos for you guys and be able to drive these cars. I've had over 70 cars, and all of them bring me joy and happiness every time that I drive them. I literally transport myself to the 1950s when I get inside one of these cars. Again, we're asking $22,000 for this car. I'm sorry. And you can give us a call at 305-783-0755. As you can see here, there's proof that this car won first place at that car show that the car went to in 2003. Unfortunately, right after that car show, the owner passed away, and they put the car away in a shed that they had in the backyard of a big farm they own. All of the gauges work in the car: gas gauge, battery amps, temperature, oil pressure, and speedometer. Right now the car shows 54,065 miles. All original. Hope you guys are liking this video. Please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share my videos with other friends and families that also like to see these type of vehicles and that brings them memories from when they were young. Thank you so much for watching the video. God bless you all.